Good morning, students. Welcome to today's newspaper analysis of the day. So we'll just have a quick glance about the newspaper today. And when it comes to the news, so 8 Karnataka pilgrims. So yeah, some news. So this is important. The auto sector reaches the consensus on KF3. KF3 norms and KF3 norms. What are these KF3 norms? We'll look into it briefly. And also next, India, Austria discusses Iran-Ukraine conflicts. So Austria Chancellor, now he is at present, he's in the official tour to India. So he and our Prime Minister Modi both gave a press meet. So both have a press meet and they declared that so all the global conflicts will only solved by not military actions. So that is also very important. And mythos or the mythos AI model raise the security concern. So Anthropic, there is very important AI development organization called Anthropic after OpenAI. So the Anthropic is very, very important. Even there is some recent news that Anthropic's Claude AI is used to extradite like in the Venezuela crisis and also with the Iran bombing. Also, they have used the AI, the US War Department. And next, now our political heat mostly concentrate on the delimitation and also allotting the seats for the South Indian states especially. So this is very, very important. And the Home Minister has given, so there is no decline in the number of seats, in the number of percentage of the seats which currently the South India is holding. The South India is approximately holding 24% of the parliament seats. So our our Home Minister, he strongly said that there is no decrease in this 24%. So as it is, whatever, like here we can see some numbers, like the Karnataka, like, so it's the same. You can see the old numbers, the present numbers, which means the Karnataka 28, which is 5.15% and 5.14%. And Andhra Pradesh 4.6%, 4.65%. Telangana 3.13%, 3.18%. Tamil Nadu 7.18%, 7.23%. Kerala 3.68%, 3.67%. So total at present 23.76, almost 24% of the parliamentary seats right now the South India is holding. At the same, or even after the increase, so it will be the same 23.87%, a little increase. So, but some South states are not happy, and when it comes to the international relations, the Trump announces the ceasefire between the Lebanon and Israel. We know that there is a parallel conflict which is happening along with Iran and US conflict is happening, and parallelly, so Israel is also fighting the Iran proxies in Lebanon, that is Hezbollah. And next important we can see, yeah, this is very important, even it's a state news, very important. So right now the 5% is the state average for child marriages. In Telangana, it is 5% is state average in child marriages, and among them 21.2% is OC Jains and Telangana child marriages, incidence of child marriages in Telangana 21.2%, and OC Jains are at 11%. So what is the higher average? The higher average was, the state average was 5%. State average was 5%, and OC Iyengars and Iyers were 21.2%, and OC Jains were 11%. The state average around all the marriages, there are 5% are child marriages. That is the child marriage situation in Telangana. And the next important articles, when it comes to the editorial, our Shashi Tharoor, like he's very famous Congress leader, and also he also worked in the United Nations also in very key position. So he has written an article. So very important articles about the sluggishness of the legal system. We'll also discuss this, why our legal system is sluggish. And the next important article which I can see was here, the mythos AI model raise the cyber security alarms. So it's very important. It's very, very important. So we'll also discuss about this. And next we'll discuss about the support. Yeah. The whole newspaper is about this. So no military solution to conflict, says the Austrian Chancellor and the Prime Minister Modi. So there will be no military solution for conflicts. That is what Austrian Chancellor and the Prime Minister Modi has reiterated. And next, very important, next, yeah, this is very important article. Auto sector reaches the broad consensus on CAFE-3 norms. What is this CAFE-3 norms? We'll briefly discuss what is this CAFE-3 norms. And next, India-Zambia critical mineral talks stall over the mining rights. So Zambia is very famous for cobalt. It has a very cobalt mines, very large quantity of the cobalt mines. So India want to mine those cobalt for its EV. So, but there is talks are stalled. But in the prelims perspective, this Zambia, which is very much related to the critical minerals. So that is very important. So critical minerals. So Zambia, you can correlate. And next, yeah. So these are the important news. We'll discuss one by one. So first we'll discuss. In this news, we already discussed the proposed figures is not going to change. So whatever the proposed seats, so what currently the South states are holding around 24% of Lok Sabha, 24% of the Lok Sabha, and it's almost remain intact. It's almost remain intact. That is what our Home Minister Amit Shah ji, he has reiterated that it is intact, 24%, as we can see the numbers also here. So right now it is 23.76%. After the delimitation, it will be 23.87%. It's almost the same. But we'll also learn what is this delimitation exactly. So what is this delimitation? So this delimitation commission. So what exactly it is this? Is it a constitutional body or it's a permanent body? It's not a permanent body. It's an ad hoc. Ad hoc body means very temporary. So it will be formed based on the need. And once it fulfills its need, then it will be dissolved. It's very temporary body. But what are the articles in the Constitution which paves the way or paves the path for the formation of the Delimitation Commission? It was Article 82 and Article 170. These are two important articles which paves the way for the Delimitation Council. Very, very important. So what this Article 82 and what Article 170 says? It says, so after every census, after every population census, after every census, the seats in Lok Sabha, to be adjusted, and it's the same. Article 70 says after every census, the seats in state assemblies to be adjusted. State assemblies to be adjusted. So this is what Article 82 and Article 170, which is very, very important for this Delimitation Commission. So to form this Delimitation Commission, so our Parliament definitely should make a law. So our Parliament should definitely make a law. Why? Because delimitation is just an executive body. It's not a legislative body. To give the legislature on the what are the conditions it should act, it all are prescribed in the law. So it all are prescribed in the So next, prescribed in the law. Parliament makes a law. In this law, what Parliament tells, what are the important highlights of this law? It should be for Delimitation Commission when it has to start. So So that is one important point it will mention, and which census it will use, and which census, whether they have to use new upcoming 2027 census or the old census. So this is all mentioned in the parliament law. And third, so when it has to start, when which census it has to use, and in the third condition they will mention about any special reservations, for example, from the, if they have the delimitation commission, this time 33% should be given to women. Is there any special reservations? So they will mention special reservations. And fourth, so when it has to start, which census it has to use, any special reservations, and the number of seats, the number of parliamentary seats, especially with the Lok Sabha. So number of parliamentary seats. So these are the four important conditions how the delimitation commission will work, and these are all prescribed by whom? By Parliament's law. These are all prescribed by Parliament's law. So when it has to start, which census it has to use, and any special reservations, like from this time they are giving special reservation, 33% for women, that one it will be added, and number of Lok Sabha seats also prescribed in this law. And when this law is made, delimitation commissions comes into the action. Delimitation commission comes into action. And at least from up to now, there are 4 delimitation commissions. And the recent one, which happened in 2002, and it worked based on which census? 2001 census. So 2002 is the last delimitation commission. So 2002 is the last delimitation commission, and it worked on the 2001 census. And which means if there is no law, means there is no delimitation commission. If there is no law, means there is no delimitation commission. So very, very important. No law, no delimitation commission, because delimitation commission is just an executive body, and once it has decided, so the delimitation commission, what it will do? It will demarcate constituencies, its boundaries. So, and these decisions are final. So once the delimitation commission has decided the boundary, and these boundary decisions are final, it can't be challenged in the court also. So that is the power the delimitation commission has, but it is very short, means which is an ad hoc body, temporary body, which comes into existence based on the necessity. And once the necessity is fulfilled, then it will be dissolved. So, but it should come only after a law is made in the parliament. In the parliament, what they do, and they will prescribe clearly what this delimitation commission has to do. Like we have seen the 4 important roles or the important features of what the delimitation, which census it has to take, number of seats, any special reservations and all. These all decided by whom? These all decided by Parliament's bill. Okay, this is what briefly a delimitation commission is. And we'll see the next article, the institutionalized sluggishness of the legal system. Here, what Shashidharur ji is talking, sluggishness of legal system. Sluggishness. So what he is talking around 5 crores of cases is pending. 5 crores of cases is pending. And also, so our justice system is too slow. Is strongly said our justice system is too slow. For example, a common man will lose his, if he enters into the sphere, if it is enters into the sphere of our justice system, he lose his money, time, and also the life opportunities. Definitely, right? Life opportunities. So, and he's also reiterated one famous quote. So justice delayed is justice denied. Justice delayed is justice denied. So this is strongly said by the Shashi Tharoor. So what he is telling, our justice system is too slow. And he also has mentioned the consequences of it. It is too slow and people will not get the justice easily. And especially the problem is with the under trial people. So under trial people will take years and years. So especially the problem with the under trial convicts. Under trial convicts. And they don't know when they will come out, when they will be released. When they will be released. And once they're released, their most of the life is finished. Most of their valuable life years, the productive life years, is completely finished in the jail only, or in the court, with the court. And the one more problem is a continuous adjournments. Adjournment means very easily they are postponing. So very easily there are continuous adjournments, and also the under trial convicts, they are a serious problem because of the slow, sluggish judicial process. So he also suggested some reforms. So what are the important reforms? This is very important even for the mains perspective also. The important reforms the author suggested in this article was time-bound justice. Time-bound justice. So very important. And also use of technology. As the recently, he also suggested the use of AI for the case management. Also, he suggests the digital courts, and make the ineffective or the cost effective or cheaper. So the judgment or judicial process, he suggested that the judicial process should be cheaper, cost effectiveness, and also arrange more benches. Arrange more benches in the rural areas or the remote areas. And one more important thing he suggested was, so make the judicial system more inclusive. What does it mean by more inclusive? In the sense, more inclusive sense, so adding more female and the marginalized section into the judicial system. So these are the important reforms he suggested. So nearly 5 crores of cases are pending. So very slow. The judgment is very slow, and justice delayed is justice denied, he strongly said. And important reforms he mentioned was, so time-bound justice. So court should focus on the time-bound justice and the use of technology. At the present, the digital technology is so much came into the handy. So the courts also should use the AI for their case management and digital courts. And cost-effective, make the judicial process cost-effective for common people. And second, arrange more number of benches in the rural and remote areas. So like a doorstep justice. And fifth, more inclusive, add more female and the marginalized section into the judicial process to look the judgments more fair, to make the judgments more fair. That is very important. And he also mentioned one important quote here. For laymen, the legal process feels like a black hole where time and money disappear without a clear horizon of resolution. So he compared our judicial process with a black hole. We know that black hole, right? Once the star dies, when the star exhausts its energy, so it forms a black hole and absorb or take everything, all the matter, including the light into it. So similarly, he compared our judicial system to a black hole, which consumes the time and energy of a common man. So that is very important. So next, the mythos AI. Why this is very important? Why this is very important? This is a technological breakthrough. So this was, the Cloud AI by Anthropic, and this is also brought by Anthropic only. So what is the difference? So why this is so much highlighted? So this is the one of the first of its kind, a cyber security AI. So this Mythos AI is a cyber security AI. So okay, cyber security AI. So what? So that is the question, right? So even if it is cyber security AI, so what? So that can be our prime fundamental question. But if it is a cyber security AI, so what it does, it detects the bugs. It detects the bugs much faster and much efficient. So it detects the bugs in the system, much in the softwares, so much faster and much efficient. So this is good. So why it is very sensational? But the main problem, the key problem here is just like our nuclear technology. The nuclear technology you can use to make the electricity, and at the same time you can use to make the destruction in the form of atomic bomb. Same, this is a simple cyber security tool which can detect the bugs much faster and efficient compared to the human. Okay, this is very positive, right? But the important negative here, is very important. So the hackers can use this Mythos AI. The hackers can use this Mythos AI. For example, they can use this AI in a SBI software, and they can know all the bugs, and they can, if they know all the bugs and all the loopholes, all the vulnerabilities of that software, and they can enter and they can loot the millions of people's money. So millions of people's money. So that is important negative aspect which this Mythos AI has. So that's why this company, what it has done, it didn't release this Mythos AI to the public. So it openly said, as we see here, so it openly said this AI, or this AI which is not for, this is so powerful, this is the direct statement by the company, this Mythos AI is too powerful that we should not release this Mythos AI to the general public. So that's what. So we can see how fast this AI in the cyber security is impacting. Cyber security is impacting. So if it means in the future, so the terrorists, the cyber terrorists, they can use this Mythos AI type of kind of things as like AK-47s. So very, very important, the cyber securities aspect. So what the companies has to do, the companies has to make their cyber security more stronger, make their cyber security more stronger, and they should also implement, so they should also implement some AI tools, or so AI norms and tools to effectively contain these kind of threats from this Mythos AI kind of software. It's a very positive. It's just like a knife. With this knife, you can save the people by doing the operation, but at the same knife, you can also kill the people. So that is what this Mythos AI can do. And next important article we will see was the CAFE3 norms. CAFE3 norms. So what is this CAFE3 norms? So yeah, so CAFE3 norms are simple, it was a computed average fuel efficiency. So every year, so government, what it will do, it will be, so calculate the average fuel efficiency, average fuel efficiency. So what it has done, government want to make our cars more fuel efficient. Our cars more fuel efficient. What will be the outcome? If the cars will be more fuel efficient, which means they have to use less fuel to travel more distance. So less fuel to travel more distance. So that is what all these norms was about. So if the government is keeping a norms to make sure the cars travel more kilometers with less fuel, what will happen? So if they consume less fuel, which means the outcome of the carbon dioxide which releases from the car will also be less. So that is the ultimate, that is the hidden objective of this goal. So what the government is strongly advocating to the companies, they should comply to these norms, the KF3 norms. So average fuel efficiency norms, so which makes sure the less fuel to travel more distance. In simple terms, for example, at present 2027 norms, which was around 3.74 liters per 100 kilometers. So which means a car should travel 100 kilometers which using 3.74 liters. So which means 3.74 liters, which is roughly, okay, you can take 4 liters it has to consume for traveling 100 kilometers. That is what the at present rate. So now the new rate, so the new rules was about 3.01 liter per 100 kilometers. So you can clearly see almost 740 ml liter was decreased, which means the car should only use, clearly here this is very key, at now car can use 3.74 kilometers per 100 kilometers, and with the present upcoming future norms by 2032 they should make the cars, it only uses 3 liters. It only uses 3 liter. For example, if you take the 1 liter petrol as 100 rupees, so here the cost will be 400 rupees nearly, and here the cost will be 300 rupees. Simple. So it will be cost effective and also fuel efficient. It's also cost effective for customers, cost effective and also fuel efficient. So very, very important. It's cost effective and fuel efficient. So that's what government want to bring, so that if the car consumes less fuel, which also releases the less carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. So this is what these KF3 norms are. So simply it is an average fuel efficiency norms, which the government, this is the key, with the few new norms, KF3 norms, they want to bring the present rate, which is 3.74 liters to 3 liters only, which means the cars have to use the better technology to improve the fuel efficiency, which means the car companies are strongly telling that we have to increase the price of the cars. The cars will be more expensive as in coming years, but it is environmentally very friendly. And the government has given some concessions that even for example, in Mahindra XUV 700, which uses almost 4 liters for 100 kilometers. And also B6, same Mahindra's B6, it's an EV, electric vehicles, so which consumes less, 0 liters per 100 kilometers. So they will take account, if you sell one electric EV, if the car company sell one electric EV, it is counted as 2. It is counted as 2. And one diesel vehicle or the one petrol vehicle, so it is counted as 1. But they will take the cumulative average. For example, so if they sell 2 XUV 700s, so 2 diesel cars, so what is that fuel average? The fuel average remains the same, 4 liters per 100 kilometers. But if they sell 3 cars, which is 1 is petrol car, like 1 is, and 2 are EV cars. So as the EVs doesn't require any liter of the petrol, so then it is counted as, even for the 3 EVs, what is the average now? What is the average? It will be around 1.33 something. So which means, so it is indirectly suggesting the companies to sell more EVs into the market, which is very environmentally friendly. That is about this KF3 norms. So these are the important articles of today, and we'll discuss about the tomorrow's newspaper tomorrow. See you tomorrow.